Kind of comes out of the hip socket. And just see if you can press down into the four corners of your feet, ball of the big toe, ball of the pinky toe, either side of the heel. Just kind of release the arms, just kind of press down so you feel the ground underneath you. And then just kind of imagine that you're extending a bit of energy up through the body and then up through the crown of the head. So kind of pulling yourself in two different directions, pressing down and then extending up. And then maybe just give the shoulder blades a bit of a squeeze. And let's go ahead and kick into our yoga breath, for lack of a better word. So just kind of taking a nice inhale, fill the body up with oxygen. And then taking an exhale, just kind of empty it out, open the mouth. And let's do that again. So inhale till you can't inhale no more. And then exhale, let it all go. We'll do that one more time. So inhale deep. And then exhale complete. And one last time, inhale. And then exhale, let it all go. And then from here, just kind of open up the eyes, come back to that smoothness or that easy breath. And then we're going to go ahead and just kind of hinge at the hips and just kind of lower down. So kind of take your torso, your upper body in line with your hips. Place your hands just below the shoulders and then think of pressing back towards your hips and then extending forward through the crown of the head. So we're looking down at your mat. And again, just kind of extending your spine from one side of the room to the other. And then on the next exhale, let me just kind of fold on in. So just kind of float the hands down the leg to whatever degree. As always, if you can, bring your hands to the earth. Relax your neck so your head floats down. So you should be able to just kind of shape the neck no quite easily. And of course, if you have really tight hamstrings, and if you haven't figured that out already, put a little bend into the knees. And then on the next inhale, we'll take this back into a flat back. So press your hips back, extend through the crown of the head. So let the spine be flat. And then exhaling, let's go ahead and fold in once again. And then press down into your feet, bend your knees slightly, releasing the arms along with the head. Let's begin to just kind of roll up nice and easy. Just kind of allow your vertebrae to stack one upon the other. And then once you're up, just kind of squeeze the shoulder blades back a bit. Hands to the outer part of the thighs. So as we move through this, make sure that your toes are always pointing forward and your hips are as close as you can get to in line with your toes. Let's all take a nice big inhale and just kind of extend the arms out and up. We're going to take this a little bit slowly so we can just kind of feel the muscles as we extend the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then bring your hands together, clasp, and then we're going to simply flip our palms towards the sky, look up slightly, and then press through your palms up towards the ceiling. And then let's go ahead and release the hands, and then ever so slowly, just kind of floating the arms back down until they find their way onto the outer part of our thighs. And then we'll go ahead and do that again. So inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And then let the hands touch, clasp the hands, flip your palms towards the ceiling, then press up through the palms. And see if you can feel length from the soles of the feet through the palms. And then let's release the hands, we'll extend them out to the sides and down. And then on the next inhale, once again, we'll go ahead and sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Then let the hands touch. And then we're going to simply just kind of bending the elbows, just kind of float your arms back behind you, or your hands that is. Clasp the hands, then just kind of bring the palms towards the head and then squeeze the shoulder blades together, kind of pressing the elbows back a bit. And then release, bring the elbows forward. And then extend the arms up. And then exhale, release the arms, take them out to the sides. Now, we're going to flip our palms towards the sky. Line up your hands with your shoulders. And then see if you can press your thumb down and your pinky up. And then on the next exhale, we're going to go ahead and move this towards our right. So seeing if we can keep those hips relatively flat and just kind of twist to whatever degree over towards your right. And if you can, take a look back at your thumb. Take an inhale, come back to center. And then we're going to release the left hand down along the body. Take the right arm up and over and just kind of float the hands down so the fingers are moving towards the upper part of your calf. And if you're not there yet, don't worry about it. Just kind of find your spot. So kind of looking to kind of find that edge of flexibility and just kind of hanging out there. Let's take an inhale. Now we'll bring the arms back out. And then once again, press your thumbs down, pinky up. And we'll take this to the second side. So now taking the left arm back behind you, right arm forward. And just giving it a little twist if you like. Take a look over at the thumb. And then inhale, coming back to center. And we'll go ahead and take this to the second side. So floating the right hand down, let's bring the left arm up and over. Extend through the fingertips, kind of moving towards that upper part of the calf. And breathing. Inhaling, back to center we go. And then once again, just kind of press down into the thumbs, pinky rise a bit so we feel some rotation through our arms and kind of taking that in towards our chest. Then inhale, sweep the hands up towards the sky, clasp the hands, and then we'll flip the palms towards the sky. So give it a nice press, maybe look up just a bit, so a bit of a back bend. And then let's release. Float the arms down towards the ground. And then hands touch. And then on the next inhale, let's go ahead and float the arms out in front of us. And then bend your knees. We'll take this into a chair, so arms extend up a bit. And take an exhale, straighten out the legs, bring the hands out in front of you. Let's do that one more time. So bend the knees, extend the fingertips up. And then exhale, bring it all back to center. And let's extend the arms out. And exhale. Let's go and float them on down. Now inhaling, once again, we'll float the arms up and over. Let's let the hands touch. Once again, let them clasp. Press through your palms. And then on the exhale, we'll give this a side bend over towards our right. So take your left hip out, sliding over towards the right. So just kind of breathing into this, and if you like, maybe on your exhales, just kind of letting go through the mouth, and as the body deflates, maybe we find a bit more space. And then inhale, back to center we go. And then exhale, let's take the left hip out and we'll slide, or the right hip out and we'll slide over towards our left. Sorry about that. And once again, maybe inhaling in through the nose, and if it feels okay, exhaling out of the mouth. And inhale, up we go. And let's release the arms, extend them out to the side, just kind of float them down. Then hands touch. Now from here, let's go ahead and just simply step your left leg back and then just kind of flip it around. So now we're kind of facing that left side of our mat. Make sure you can see your PC, and then with the legs extended, let's float the hands down to the hips. And then on the inhale, let's go ahead and sweep the arms out to the sides. And then we're going to float the arms back behind us. So bring the hands right about to the lower back and then clasp your hands. So clasp your hands together. If you have really tight shoulders, maybe just kind of hook your forearms or your forefingers. So whatever works best for you. Give your shoulder blades a squeeze. Let the hands float down the butt a bit. Look up. And then on the exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips. And as the head floats down towards the ground, lift your knuckles up towards the ceiling above you. And breathe. So relax the head. Should be able to shake the head no. And once again, so you can keep the arms as straight as can be. And let that stretch kind of reverberate through the shoulders up through the arms. And let's go ahead and float the hands down. Now release the arms, extend them out to the side, and let your hands find their way right underneath the shoulders. So with fingers spread, take an inhale, flatten your back. If you need to, heel toe your feet in a little bit closer, find some stability. And then inhaling, let's take our hands to the hips and then continuing the inhale, come on up. Now, from here, we're going to flip our left toes towards what was probably the back of your mat. You can slide your right leg in, but kind of point your toes kind of off to the side, so about a 45-degree angle. Now we're going to get a little creative with our arms, so we'll start with extending the arms up towards the sky. And then once you got that, then in this case, your right elbow, and then take your left elbow, bend, and then place your left hand right onto the right elbow. And if you can, see if you can slide that right hand down between the shoulder blades. So maybe kind of pulling a bit onto the elbow so you feel a stretch into the shoulder region. And then simply look up towards the ceiling above you. Take a couple of breaths here. And then with your core engaged, belly button to spine, take an exhale and just begin to hinge in. And of course, if hinging in is a bit much, you can stay at the standing position. But float your nose towards the knee or the shin. And just kind of breathe into this. Maybe you feel a little loosening into the hips. You can sink in a little bit more. And then with core engaged, take a nice inhale. And let's come on up. Kind of pull into the elbow, look up slightly, and then release the arms. Let's float the hands now to the hips, and then we'll just kind of wheel it around so we're now pointing to the side once again. Now make sure your toes are in line with your heels. If you like, heel toe your feet a little bit wider apart. And as always, just kind of go to whatever level kind of works for you. And then on the exhale, with the hands on the hips, hinge at the hips, lower your torso in line with your hips, and then simply float your hands down the outside of the legs. Now, if you can, maybe we grab the outside of the foot. If you want a little bit more, take your forefingers, your peace sign fingers, bring them between the second toe and the big toe, hook the big toe. And then just kind of release the head. And again, if the flexibility is not there, just leave the hands on the legs. But if you're with me, with the forefingers on the big toe, just kind of bend the elbows. And here, using a little bit of arm strength, we'll just pull the head a little bit closer to the earth, get a little bit more into the hamstrings. And then once again, just come back to that nice, smooth, and even flow of oxygen in and out of your nostrils. Relax the neck. So you can allow the breath to be smooth and through the nose. And also, if you like, maybe on the exhale, just kind of let it go through the mouth. And that act of kind of letting it go through the mouth allows the body to deflate a bit more, thus giving you a little bit more space. And let's go ahead and release. Now, if your hands are on your feet, just kind of let the hands find their way right below the shoulders. Bring the torso in line with the hips, and then heel toe your feet in a little bit closer so you're feeling nice and stable. And then from here, just kind of press down, bring the hands to the hips, take an inhale, extend the arms out, or extend the upper body out. And we'll go ahead and take this to the second side. So now taking the right toes towards the front of the mat. Take your left toes, bring them out, point them maybe about 45 degrees or whatever's comfortable. So you want to feel a nice base here. And then we'll extend our arms out and then up. Now let's bend the left elbow towards the sky. Take the right hand and just kind of grab the elbow. And just kind of pull it in just a little bit. Now relax the neck, take a look up at the ceiling above you, a little stretch back. And then with core engaged, belly button to spine, let's take an exhale and we'll fold in over the leg. And again, if this is a bit much, just kind of stay in that standing position. And let's breathe. And with core engaged, inhale, coming on up. And squeeze the elbow just a bit, take a look up towards the ceiling. And let's release the arms, float them on down. Take the hands right to the hips, and then from here, simply bend your right knee and step your left foot next to your right. Let's take a nice big inhale in through the nose. Just kind of fill the body up with oxygen. And then exhale, let it all go through the mouth. And one more time. Inhale till you can't inhale no more. And then exhale. Let's let it all go. And from here, let's take a nice big inhale. Sweep the arms out to the sides and up. Let the hands touch. Exhale, let's swan dive in, coming into a forward fold. Inhaling, flattening out. And then let's bring our hands flat to the earth, and we're just going to step back into down dog. So step the feet back. As always, press back towards the heels. See if you can extend up through the hips, pull out of the wrist. And then on the exhale, let's go ahead and float the knees down to the ground. And we'll find ourselves in all fours. Now we're going to do a little eye of the needle. So we'll take a nice inhale, lift your right arm up, just kind of extend towards the side of the room, press through the fingertips. And then we'll float the hand between the left and the body, extend and reach. And then drop down onto your right shoulder, side of the head. So coming into a nice little twist. And as always, let's begin to key in on our breath, creating a nice, smooth, and even flow in and out of the nostrils. And then press down into your left hand. Let's lift up. Release the right arm. Just kind of extend it out to the side. And then we'll float the right hand down. We'll find our way back into all fours. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And then we'll do a little spinal undulation, or what we call cat-cow. So allow your belly button to kind of drop down towards the earth. Take an inhale, lift your head. And then taking an exhale, float your head down towards the ground and squeeze your belly button to spine. Find some height. And then release the belly button towards the earth. Inhale, sweep high. And then exhale, float the head down, arch the back. Now let's kind of move through this at your breath pace. So just kind of allowing that spine to kind of undulate up and down. After being into the twist with one more to go. And let's go ahead and give that one more round. Up and then down. And let's go ahead and bring the spine to center, and we'll take this into eye of the needle, second side. So now lifting the left arm up, reach over towards the side of the room. And then let's float the left arm between the right and the body. Come onto the shoulders, side of the head. And just kind of twisting it now towards the second side. And then pressing down into the right hand, let's lift up. Release the left, extend it out. And let's go ahead and float it down. Now from here, we'll simply just kind of drop over towards our right hip. And then sweep the legs out in front of you. And we'll go ahead and find a seated position with the legs extended. And we'll come into a seated forward fold. So press your heels forward, toes coming back at you. And we'll take a nice inhale, arms extend out and up. And then with fingertips towards the sky, pull out of your pelvis, find some length. And let's take an inhale, float on in, placing the hands on the foot, the ankle, the calf. Whatever works best for you. Soften the neck, allow the head to float down, then maybe bend the elbows. And using a little arm strength if you like. And breathe. And let's release. So bring the torso to center. Float the hands along the legs. And then we'll roll back a bit. Take your hands under your knees. And then bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to open up towards either side of the room. The flexibility is there. Just kind of press your heels a little bit closer to the groin. And then just kind of press down into your sits bones. Extend up through the crown of the head. Find some length through the spine. And then on the exhale, let's go ahead and fold on it. So kind of using a little pressure just to kind of get into the fold. And you'll kind of move down as you're into the hip flexors. And as you kind of get past that flexibility, the back curls. And that's okay. Relax the neck. And then once again, just coming back to that smoothness of breath. In and out of your nostrils. And once again, let's release. Bring the torso back to center. Let's go ahead and extend the legs out in front of us. And if you like, just kind of shake it up just a little bit. And then we're going to release. We'll just kind of roll now onto our back. So kind of measure yourself and make sure you're pretty much in the middle of your mat. And then on the exhale, let's simply just kind of drop back onto your shoulder blades. And then let's take an inhale. We're going to bend our knees once again. Let's bring them in towards the chest. If you like, bring corresponding hand to shin, or maybe give yourself a hug. Give the knees a squeeze in. And then just kind of taking the knees side to side. So a little massage to the lower back. And then from here, we'll take this into happy baby. So with the knees in, just kind of spread them out just a bit. Maybe line up the knees with the armpits and extend the lower leg up. And if you can, grab the inside of your feet. And if that's not working out for you yet, just kind of grab the ankles or the knees. And then see if you can allow your spine to be as flat as can be as you kind of pull into the feet, take the knees down towards the ground. And let's breathe into this. And let's go ahead and release the feet. Extend the toes up towards the ceiling. So you can give it a little pull from your hips through the tips of the toes. And then bring the feet into flexion. Just kind of lower the heels down to the ground. And then once those heels touch, we'll take an inhale now. Lift your right leg up. And then we'll bend at the knee. And we'll take this into an easy one-legged twist. So you can extend your right arm out, take the left hand to the knee, and then bring the knee across the body and over toward your left. You can take a look up at the ceiling above you, if you like, over toward your right thumb. And so you can keep those shoulder blades relatively flat. That way, once again, just kind of feel a nice twist into your spine. And then inhaling, let's go and take the knee to center. And then we'll take this into fallen tree. So take your right ankle across your left thigh. And just kind of allowing the knee to now just kind of open up over towards your right. You can extend the arms out. Whatever feels comfortable. So you can allow your spine to be as flat as can be. And then see if you can relax this hip flexor. Again, just kind of that area where the femur bone comes out of the hip socket. And just kind of using gravity and the weight of your leg, you allow this inner part of the thigh or the hip flexor to stretch. And then once again, just kind of find that smoothness of breath in and out of your nostrils. And once again, let's go ahead and release. So we'll bring the knee to center, extend it up towards the ceiling. And then take the foot into flexion, just kind of lower it on down. And then once the heel touches, let's take a nice inhale now, lifting up the left leg, bend at the knee. And then with the left arm extended, let's take the right to the outside of the knee. We'll give this an easy twist second side. So see if you can keep the shoulder blades flat, bring the knee across the body and over towards your right. And then releasing, inhaling, knee comes back to center. And let's go into fallen tree. So taking the left ankle now across the right thigh. And then relaxing the knee, allowing the knee to just kind of open up now over towards the left. Just going to allow the shoulder blades to be flat. And allow the breath to be smooth. And once again, let's go ahead and release the knees towards the sky and then extend the leg up. Press a bit of energy through the toes. And then foot into flexion. Let's go ahead and just kind of float it on down. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and bend our knees so the soles of the feet come flat to the earth. Slide the heels in a bit. We're going to do a dynamic bridge. So we're going to take the arms to the outside of the side bodies. You can take the palms flat to the earth. And then what we'll do is we'll press into the soles of the feet and into the shoulder blades. And as we inhale, we're just going to lift the hips up. And then exhale, float them down. Let's take an inhale, press down, extend the hips up. And then exhale, float them on down. Inhale, hips high. And then exhale, down to the ground. I'm going to do this one more time. So press into the hands and the feet, lift up. And then this time we're going to stay here for just a few breaths. If you can, press down into the shoulder blades, into the soles of the feet. And then exhale. Let's go ahead and float it all down to the ground. Then from here, just kind of release the legs, extend them out. Now press the toes towards the front of the mat. And we'll take a nice inhale. Let's bring the arms up and over. And allow the backs of the hands to touch earth. And then press through your toes forward, extend through your fingertips back, and just kind of pull yourself apart from one side of the room to the other. And let's release. Take a nice inhale, bring the arms up and over and to the sides. And then once those hands touch, we'll take this into Shavasana. So just spread the limbs out like a star. So you can kind of flip your palms up towards the sky. Close the eyes if you haven't already. And just kind of bring that breath back into normal. And then just kind of let it all go. Just kind of allow yourself to just melt down into the mat below you. And try not to hold anything up. Just let it all go. And let's just take a few moments out of our Thursday just to totally release, totally relax, and to just be. let's begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing awareness back into the mind and body. And when you're ready, let's go ahead and roll to either side of the room, coming into a fetal position.